Welcome back, Shalloners, and welcome, Smilers. Yep, today we're going to talk about Miley Cyrus and advance what we know about her breakup with Liam Hemsworth, namely her new song, Slide Away, what it really means, what really happened in their relationship, and more importantly, what we can learn. More specifically, what to do about an ex who's slandering you, tarnishing your reputation, telling people you're crazy, or basically rewriting history. I'll break it all down. But first, just want to remind you that if you have a love question of your own, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat to get connected, and follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you guys weigh in, where I let you weigh in on the latest video topics and pick the next one. Also, check out my podcast, Girl on Top, every place podcasts are found, where I answer the best questions you guys submitted over the course of the week. So Miley's come out with a new song, Slide Away, and it's not a great song. I mean, it sounds like a weird, do you ever hear a song called Novocaine for the Soul? I forget who sang it, but it was like back in the 90s. It was good, and this sounds like it, but it's not good. But the reason we're talking about it is because the lyrics seem to hint that her marriage to Liam Hemsworth deteriorated and broke up because of his drug use. His drug use, apparently. Him, Liam, the drug user in that relationship? Liam Hemsworth is the drug user in the relationship of Miley Cyrus. All right. I did a video on these two before, and I didn't get super into what was going on with them because, you don't want to get sued and all this thing called people drug addicts. But sometimes with celebrity couples, what you see is not what you get. Their relationship is completely different behind the scenes. The personas that they have in public are completely different than who they are in real life. And it's just, we don't really know what's going on. It's a totally different story. One good example is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. She is a harpy of the highest degree. Same with Priyanka Chopra and whichever Jonas she married, Nick. She is not a great girl. They're both like two weird users together. They're just like this weird con man couple. It's very bizarre. But Miley and Liam, what you see is what you get. And do you know how we know that? Because the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior, and patterns really do add up to the truth. And over the course of the last, 10 years, we have watched one of them be even-keeled and steady, surf a dude, hang out, get some toasty waves, and we've seen the other person all over the place, showing her vag as much as possible, nipples out, free the nipple, adopting a million pets, getting a billion tattoos, drugs, sex, rock and roll. Which one was Liam and which one was Miley? With those two, what you see is what you get. She is the volatile one. She is the crazy one. And now she is the one smearing the sane person. Do you guys ever see the movie I, Robot? It's the best. I think it was I, Robot, or maybe it was some Will Smith one. No, it was the one about the zombies or the end of the world. Fuck, what's it called? Anyway, he says something so wonderful. He's like, does being the last sane person make you crazy? If you're the last person who's telling the truth, are you actually now the crazy one? And in Miley's world, yes, you are. And the fact that she released this song purposely right after news broke that their marriage was over, purposely when she was on this clout of a vacation attention grab with Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn Carter, faking it and doing the most for attention and to stick it to her ex, is so immature and embarrassing, and yet pretty on brand for Miley, right? Because like I said, future behavior is past behavior. And what we know about her is that attention comes before everything else. A reaction and a flashbang is the goal. And whoever she hurts in the process doesn't really matter. And up until now, she's only hurt herself and her reputation with her just embarrassing twerking antics. Ugh. That's not real twerking. It's not. I'm like a truther on this. But she's also hurt Liam. I've heard that her relationship with Patrick Schwarzenegger was purely a PR stunt to stick it to Liam. And then now this Caitlyn Carter thing is another stunt to stick it to Liam. I just find it really coincidental and convenient that when she breaks up with Liam, she instantaneously has someone else. Instantaneously. There's no, I'm going to be single for a while. I'm going to chill out on my own. It's, Schwarzenegger, Stella Maxwell, Caitlyn Carter, like she's just going for it and doing the most. And it's like, what the fuck did Liam ever do to you, girl? What did he ever do to you? He is a normal person. He's a normal person from a normal family who wants normal things, right? And if Miley is an abnormal person and she wants this crazy, edgy, wild life, that's fine. Live your truth. Be whoever you are. But don't drag someone else into it and then turn around and make them the bad guy after the fact. That's what I have a problem with. If your relationships don't work out, marriages don't work out, I know from firsthand experience, I would never, ever, ever go around slandering my ex-husband. Never. And that's why I haven't spoken about our relationship and what happened, because it's like, it's not just my story to tell, you know? And it's like, of course, I'm going to tell it through my own point of view where, you know, it's in our nature to be the hero of our own story. And that's just not, I know I'm self-aware enough to know that that's not true. You know, that there is a huge aspect of my divorce where I was absolutely the villain. And I don't really want to tell a story where I'm the villain either, you know, so that's like why I don't talk about it. So I keep it quiet. I keep it private because it's not like business that needs to be out there. And for Miley to do this, to have a song that says, I want a house in the hills, not whiskey and pills, move on, we're not 17, I'm not who I used to be, we're grown now. Shut the fuck up, Miley. Who in the hell are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to fool that you're Miss Suburban Domestic and Liam is the one who can't be tamed? Really? Really? You have been the wild child. That has been your bread and butter. That has been your persona and your moneymaker since you were 16 years old. And now you're trying to reorient the entire public perception of you so that you're the victim. The victim narrative. Here we are again. And it's just sucky and it's unfair. And I feel sorry for that kid. But I feel like his next relationship will be like a very, very healthy one, you know? Because when you get out of something long term, it's like, you always hear about people, it's like they were with someone for like 3 years and then they broke up or whatever, and then they married the next person they dated. And you're like, how is that possible? Don't they want to date around? But it happens because sometimes after being in something for so long, you are just so, first of all, you're so done by the time you get out of it. You are like, done. Like there's no more looking back or whatever. And also, you know what you need and you know what you don't need. And you know what you want and what you don't want, what you will and you won't tolerate. So Miley, I hear a distinct lack of clarity and self-awareness in those categories, right? And we know this because she's writing songs like this. I mean, 3 other people did write this song, by the way, so let's not give her too much credit. But her doing these things, these antics, the showy lesbo makeout with Caitlyn Carter and all this stuff, it's like that to me tells me she's not being honest about who she is, what she needs, and how the demise of her marriage was her fault. Not entirely. It takes 2 to tango, of course, but come on. I don't think she ever really wanted to be a wife. I mean, I identify with that for sure. But like, you don't get to twist it around and shame the person who bought what you were selling and you bought what they were selling. If you didn't want to get married, why'd you say yes? Why did you do it? What was the point? You wanted to have an open relationship? All right. Maybe a down-to-earth dude is not the dude for you. And it's unfair because I get it. You want that stable person in your life and you want to go and be the wild child. And then what you have is a parent-child dynamic, right? He's dad, you're the crazy baby, you're the crazy teenager. And that doesn't stay fun for dad for too long. So maybe he did leave her. Maybe he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not staying home and like tending to the animals like we're on a homestead and you're out like twerking and rubbing your crotch on anyone caught standing still. I actually don't want to do that. I get it. But Miley, take a step back, have a modicum of self-awareness, and don't make Liam the bad guy. So what can this tell us about our own lives? Because I get a lot of questions from you guys and you're like, you're just like mania level 10,000 because your boyfriend, your ex, is going around town talking trash. She's crazy. She's a slut. She did this. She hit me. Like just crazy things. And it's like, it is insult to injury, isn't it? Right? I mean, a breakup, even with someone bad, hurts. And I'm sad when any relationship ends. And then to find out that like a situation that was so difficult for me to leave now has this component of history being rewritten, obviously not to my benefit. It's like, it's just agonizing. Like, what are you supposed to do? I've gone through a lot of scandals myself. both in public, like I'm someone people know in New York City, and like, yeah, I've had my fair share of things play out. Even now on this channel, like people feel very entitled to say whatever they want about me and my face and my body and my life and my channel and my videos. And it's like, I do get like the urge to just go after every single person. But when you do that, you really only reinforce their insults. You prove them right. I know. It's frustrating. And no one wants to hear the advice, don't do anything. No one wants to hear that. But look, you can win the battle and you can lose the war, right? You can, if your boyfriend, let's say he's telling everyone that you're crazy, because that's the number one thing men say when they're trying to minimize us and oppress us. That's what gaslighting is. When you point out that their behavior is inappropriate, you're crazy, you're acting crazy, because they know that crazy is the last thing a woman wants to be labeled. I mean, in the Victorian times, it would like get you thrown into an asylum where you'd basically be tortured to death. Like, it meant something. It wasn't just like, oh, she's crazy, she's just go be a bartender. Like, it was literally, it could be a death sentence. So that has been passed down generationally through women throughout history. That's nothing to play at. And men know that. And they push that button on purpose because they know we respond to it, right? And so we shrink, we minimize, don't do anything, don't stand up for yourself. You don't want it to call you crazy. You know what? I am crazy. I am. I'm a coiled viper of emotion at all time. And I just happen to have a really, really good vocabulary that I can express myself in a constructive way. And I'm not hysterical and like outwardly like shrieky and insane. But make no mistake, I am crazy. I'm just smart, you know? And that, isn't that a man's worst nightmare? A woman who can stand up for herself and be articulate while doing it? Yikes! So they're going to try to minimize you. So let's say he's going around town, going to your other friend groups, talking trash about you. The inclination is to fight back, right? But when you do that, like I said, I've been through my fair share of scandals, and certainly doing celebrity journalism for 10 years, I've watched a myriad of celebrity scandals. And the more you talk about it, the worse it gets. My theory is that when it comes to public scandal, one of the worst things you can do is apologize or speak on it in general. Say nothing. Because it's a principle of news that like once a news cycle passes, people forget. They're on to the next thing. They're on to the next scandal, the next breaking whatever. They move on. But if you keep talking about it, if you keep it alive, hence like Taylor Swift versus Kim Kardashian. I have a whole video coming up on that, talking about catty girls. You know what I'm going to talk about in that video. You know. But like Kim doesn't bring that up anymore. Taylor literally won't let it go. And so she thinks she's like taking control of the narrative and redefining and taking back the word. And she's not. She's literally only reminding people of her own foibles. And she's proving Kim right. Right? I mean, in this case, Kim was right. But if you're in the position where the guy is wrong, as tempting as it is to stand up and be like, that's not true, I'm not crazy. I mean, is that even an effective thing to say? I'm not crazy. I'm not. Okay, crazy. I'm not a slut. I'm not. You prove it in increments by example. You prove it by simply leading your life. And I know it's unsatisfying. And it's also like, it doesn't feel like it's going to work. It's too slow. Like you got to get out there and like do damage control. No, you will do more damage. You will. And like I said, I've watched celebrity scandals a billion times, and inevitably the people who keep feeding into it come out worse. No matter what they say, it just gives more ammunition to the people who they're fighting against. Because if your ex is out there talking trash about you, whether it's true or not, he just needs more bullets to load in his gun. Because if he doesn't have them, and if he keeps talking about you, he's going to look like the crazy one, right? So he's trying to bait you into a trap. He's trying to bait you into a communication so that he can just keep loading, reloading as much as you want. Oh, you want to text me again? Go ahead. You want to post something insane on Instagram? Here, let's go. You're just proving my point, sweetheart. So we got to take it slow and steady, and we have to simply live a life that disproves all of that. Because then, like I said, he becomes the clown. He becomes the clown because he's going to get more and more and more desperate to try to bait you into a conflict, right? And everyone's going to stop and they're going to be like, you know, I maybe believed you like round one of this, but now you're kind of the crazy one, dude. People might not come right out and say that to him, but they're going to take a step back. And then the next time he says something about you, people aren't going to believe him. I don't know. Like, I like Ashley. Just whatever, dude. It's like your deal with her. Just kind of leave us out of it. I heard she's dating someone else. So, all right. He's going to look like the clown. And you are going to keep on sailing forward. Because it's a sad truth that you can't look ahead and behind at the same time. You just can't. And I hear this from you guys all the time. And certainly I'm guilty of this. I'm like the queen of getting stuck in the past. And it's like, whether you want to do something over or you want to fix it or you want to make amends, a lot of times you think like, I just need to have a heart to heart with this person and they'll call off the dogs. Sometimes a lot of people can't tell, well, not that they can't tell, they don't care the difference between positive and negative interaction. They don't care as long as you're paying attention to them, whether you're having a heart to heart or you're screaming and cussing them out. Does not matter. Ammo, ammo, ammo. Because here's the basic truth. The opposite of love is not hate. It's apathy. Like, I don't talk about 99% of the people I've dated because, like, I don't care. Like, I don't even use them as, like, tangential reference stories here as allegories. I'm like, I basically only talk about, like, 3 people. And they're 3 people that had a huge impact on my life, and they still do, and I don't feel neutrally about them. Like, whether I feel positive or negative, like there's not that neutrality, you know? People who I don't think about, it's like I don't even think about. So if he's still saying stuff about you, he isn't over it. That doesn't mean you should get back together, okay? It does not mean that. It doesn't mean that you can't be over it. That's his problem. If he feels guilty about how the relationship went, if he only saw you as a possession and suddenly his possession got up and had the audacity to walk away and say she needed something better and deserved something more, if he only saw you as a means to an end, and if you didn't give him what he wants and now he feels like his ego is threatened because you didn't put out, those are his problems, not yours. This person is not going to be in your life, you know? So who gives a shit? And like the same with arguing with people on the internet. It's like, you don't like me? Like, who are you? Betty from Nebraska. Who are you to me? Why would you think I care what you have to say? You're not signing my checks. You're not my God. You're not my boyfriend. Who are you? Go home. Eat some fruit. Like, get outside and get some sunshine. Like, get out of my face. You're just a mosquito. You're a mosquito buzzing in my ear and irritating me. And I will give you as much attention as I would give something I simply wave out of my periphery. And again, I know that's not fair. It just isn't. It just isn't fair that people get to go around and say whatever they want about you. I know. But it's even more unfair if you are digging your own grave too. You know, if you are like giving them that ammunition, if you're feeding into their sick little mission because all they see is you reacting. That's all they see and that's all they want. And they're like, got her. And what do you have? You're still tied to the past. You're now hemorrhaging more information, more energy towards a situation that I know you fought hard to get out of. I know, like I said, even bad relationships are hard to leave. Sometimes they're the hardest to leave, you know, because you feel like there's so much left undone and unfinished and blah, blah. And like, here they are, like giving you this open door to walk back through. And like, don't go back to square one. Don't erase all the emotional progress just for this like satisfaction. I'm going to tell them off. All right. So you told them they're an asshole. Cool. What has that gotten you? That got you back to square one in terms of getting past this. Don't undo your progress. You might not be completely over it, but you don't need to go right back to the starting line. You're better than that. You're worth more. And these people truly are not. So you need to actually take steps to guard against them. If someone's harassing you on the internet, fucking block them. It really isn't that complicated. I talk to you guys all the time and it's like, he won't stop DMing me. I was like, have you blocked him, genius? I don't know. Seems like kind of an easy place to start. I said this before. If you had someone lurking around your physical house, like where you live, who is like threatening you and meant to do you harm, you would shut the door. You would lock the windows and close the garage door. You would take up arms. You wouldn't be like, I'm just going to leave all the doors open because I want to look really chill. I just don't want to look bothered. I don't want to look bothered. You are bothered and you should be bothered. This person is a threat to you. Maybe not a physical threat, maybe, but they're an emotional threat. And if you don't take the opportunity to repel borders, you have to ask yourself what you're getting out of this situation because you're getting something, right? You're getting you're staying tied to this toxic dynamic. Why? Why does this work for you? Why is this a place you want to be? Get to the root of that. And then how to proceed with these people will make so much more sense. It will come so much more effortlessly. I want to know what you guys have to say about Miley and Liam. I think she is just digging her own grave with this. I think she looks like a clown and just a petty, twerking, sad, skinny, pale clown. And I think it's such a disservice to a person she claims to have loved for 10 years that she's coming out and just, writing such a mean-spirited song, knowing how the public is going to perceive it and knowing the rumors they're going to say about someone who is fairly blameless in this situation. I really lost a lot of respect for her. And I like Miley. I think she's fun. And I think politically I like what she stands for and what she does. But I'm like, girl, you're just a bully. You're just kind of a mean girl. Anyway, click like and subscribe for 4 new videos a week. And follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you weigh in on the videos. And be sure and check out my podcast, Girl on Top. I'll talk to you later, Shalloners.